All right, strap in, because what I'm about to drop on you is the kind of next-gen leak that'll melt your brain. We're talking PlayStation 6, we're talking a real-deal next-gen handheld, and we're talking about a behind-the-scenes arms race between Sony and AMD that's gonna shape the future of gaming. You want raw specs? You want release dates? You want the truth about where the PS6 is headed while everyone else is stuck speculating? Good. Because we're about to bulldoze every rumor and break down exactly what's coming, what's changed, and why Sony's about to flip the script on the entire console war again. The secret code names, the chiplet designs, the real plan for affordable performance, and a handheld that's not just an accessory, but a full-blown PlayStation you can throw in your backpack. Here are the biggest gaming leaks and news you've probably missed this week. Just pause for a second and imagine this. One day, headlines explode. Sony acquires Mario and Zelda. The internet goes into meltdown. Twitter's on fire, Reddit servers are down, and Nintendo fanboys are either in therapy or launching lawsuits. Now picture the aftermath. A month later, industry analyst Matt Piscatella rolls up with his trademark straight face and says, "So, according to our latest report, Sony is now the biggest publisher on Nintendo. 6 of the top 10 selling Switch games are Sony published." Like, are you joking? This sounds like the kind of fanfic that gets you banned from gaming forums for trolling. But guess what? That's pretty much the level of absurdity we're seeing in real life right now. Just swap Mario and Zelda for Forza, Doom, Oblivion, and Call of Duty. Sony's top sellers chart this quarter, 6 out of 10 games are published by Microsoft. Xbox is running the PlayStation charts. If you'd shown that sales chart to anyone back in the PlayStation 4, Xbox One era, they would have laughed you out of the room. What Matt Piscatella is actually saying. So here's what's actually happening. Matt Piscatella, who, by the way, is one of the most plugged-in analysts in gaming, puts out a quarterly report showing the top 10 best-selling games on PlayStation hardware. And here's what you get. Forza Horizon 5, Oblivion Remastered, MLB The Show, Call of Duty, Black Ops 6, Doom The Dark Ages, Indiana Jones, Minecraft, Assassin's Creed Shadows, GTA 5, because it will never die, WWE 2K25. Out of these, 6 are Microsoft published. Sony, with all its legendary first-party studios, can only claim 1. Why this is nuts and why it's happening. If you rewind even just one generation, this would have been science fiction. For decades, the entire console business model was lock down exclusives, force people onto your hardware, and treat the other guys as the enemy. That's why you got memes like Bloodborne never coming to PC or you want Halo, buy an Xbox. Now, that model's just about dead. Why? Because people have picked their ecosystems. They have friends on PlayStation, their trophies, their digital libraries. Moving to Xbox for 1 or 2 games just isn't happening. Microsoft figured this out first, but Sony's finally seeing the writing on the wall. The data's clear. If you put Forza or Doom on PlayStation, PlayStation players will buy it. They're not going to suddenly jump ship. They just want to play their favorite games where they already live. The cost of getting here. Let's not ignore what it took to make this happen. Microsoft dropped $7.5 billion on Bethesda, then an absolutely insane $70 billion on Activision Blizzard King, Call of Duty, Elder Scrolls, Doom, Indiana Jones, and more. All these IPs are now under the Xbox umbrella. The plan, bring them everywhere. Make money on every platform, not just Xbox. Sony, meanwhile, has been pushing its own multi-platform ambitions. Job listings are popping up for directors of multi-platform publishing, rumors of day one PC launches, and speculation about a first-party PlayStation launcher on PC. Are we gonna see God of War launch on Steam the same day as PlayStation? Maybe not tomorrow. Yeah, Helldivers 2 is coming to Xbox soon, and honestly, good for Xbox players. PlayStation execs made it crystal clear ages ago. Live service games like Helldivers, those are fair game to go multi-platform. Why? Because live service games thrive on bigger player bases, more micro transactions, and longer engagement. It's business 101. But let's not get it twisted. The creme de la creme of PlayStation, the heavy hitters, those aren't leaving home anytime soon. You know the ones I'm talking about. Death Stranding 2, the next Spider-Man, God of War. These are PlayStation's crown jewels. They're not showing up on Xbox, and they're sure sure as hell not coming day one to PC either. Sony's already said it themselves. Those cinematic, story-driven blockbusters, they'll hit PC, maybe, but not until a year or two later. So if you're a die-hard PlayStation fan who loves those day one moments, no spoilers, no waiting, you know where to find them. It's like owning the key to a private theater where the biggest movies premiere. Xbox and PC players might get a screening eventually, but by then, the hype's cooled down, the internet's spoiled every plot twist, and the magic of being there first, gone. So you remember back in the day, when cable TV was scrambled and you'd be squinting at the static, hoping to catch something. Yeah, that's exactly how this story feels right now. You've got to look between the lines, see what's really going on behind all the static. And honestly, the more you look, the weirder it gets. So here's what actually happened. A couple weeks ago, Steam quietly yanked about 20 adult games from their store, while itch.io basically hid all their adult content from search. They didn't fully remove it, but made it invisible to anyone just browsing. Why did this happen? Well, it turns out payment processors, the middlemen between stores like Steam and the credit card companies, started flexing after some conservative group in Australia called Collective Shout went on a campaign. They emailed and called a bunch of these financial companies, and games started disappearing. Now Mastercard jumps on Twitter and puts out a statement all like, "We don't ban games. If it's legal, we process it. It's not our fault." But Valve tells Kotaku, nah, that's not really how it went. They said Mastercard never even talked to them directly. Instead, it was payment processors sending Valve messages about rules coming from Mastercard. And those rules are vague, like seriously vague. They basically say, if something is offensive or could hurt the Mastercard brand, they can just kill your transaction. That's even if it's legal. So who decides what's offensive? Mastercard does. That's the trick. What you end up with is Mastercard saying, don't blame us. We just set the rules, and the payment processors saying, hey, we're just following Mastercard's rules, and Valve saying, look, we can't afford to get shut off, so we'll just remove the games. And you end up with all these companies passing the blame around like a hot potato, so nobody actually takes responsibility. It gets even messier because a lot of this started in Australia, but Steam and Itch are global, and they don't want to make 100 little exceptions for every country's weird laws or pressure groups. So the easiest fix is just to ban the games for everyone, no matter where you live. Then gamers start pushing back, Mastercard gets roasted on Twitter, and even Gaugi jumps in, giving away a bundle of free adult games. Over 1 million people grabbed that in a day, which honestly just proves people love free stuff, if nothing else. But it's not really about the quality of these games. It's about the principle. The industry fought this fight back in the Mortal Kombat and GTA days, right? That's why we have ESRB and self-regulation, but now it's come back through the side door with payment processors quietly making the rules without a public debate. What's really wild is that every time one of these groups gets a win and gets something banned, it just gets easier the next time. It's always the just one more thing excuse, and then you look up and everything's gone. The only reason this didn't blow up even more is because people actually pushed back this time. And I mean, even GOG had to change their store rules, and Valve updated theirs to pretty much copy-paste Mastercard's legalese, so they have a policy to point at next time. The bigger issue here is it's not just about porn games. This is the same playbook you're seeing everywhere now. Age checks, ID verification, real name registration, all that stuff popping up, especially in places like the UK and the EU. It's getting harder to just do stuff online without some company or government quietly setting the rules and deciding what's okay. You might not care about weird adult games, and that's fine, but this is the front line of where these fights always start. Today, it's some horny pixel game. Tomorrow, it's an indie dev with a controversial story. The more vague these rules, the more power the suits have to say no to whatever they want. So that's where we're at right now. If you're even a little bit of a Wolverine fan, you know the vibe. Guy's got bruised knuckles, doesn't care about the mess he leaves behind, just kind of shrugs it off like, what, this? Tuesday for me. And remember that first Insomniac Wolverine teaser from almost 4 years ago? Yeah, the one at the 2021 PlayStation Showcase. That dropped out of nowhere, and honestly, it broke the internet. Nobody was ready for the studio that gave us friendly neighborhood Spider-Man to suddenly jump into the gritty, angry world of Logan. And then silence. Like actual radio silence. If you've been itching to know more, you're not alone. Where's all the information? Why's Insomniac gone full witness protection mode with this game? Seriously, are we ever gonna get to slice and dice bad guys as Logan? Or are we just gonna keep watching that one teaser on loop forever? Let's dig in and see what's actually going on with Marvel's Wolverine. So here's what we know. The same day they announced Wolverine, Insomniac also revealed Spider-Man 2, the follow-up to Miles Morales. That game came out, absolutely slapped, and ended on a cliffhanger. So now everybody's like, yup, Spider-Man 3 is happening. There's even rumors about a Venom game. But Wolverine? Not a peep, other than Insomniac popping up every once in a while to say, hey, don't worry, we're still making it. I mean, thanks, I guess. But come on, throw us a bone. And then in December 2023, Insomniac got hit with that cyber attack. Remember that mess? Leaks everywhere. They came out and said, don't sweat it, Wolverine is still cooking. We'll share details when we're ready. And then the latest update? They posted about welcoming new interns. And some of those folks are apparently working on Wolverine. So yeah, still deep in development as of May 2025. Oh, and they put Venom front and center when talking about Spider-Man 2's PC release. Coincidence? Maybe. Or maybe Venom's getting his own game too. But back to Wolverine. Insomniac is basically locked up tighter than Fort Knox when it comes to details. Is that a good thing? Maybe. They're either cooking up something insane or they're just letting the hype do all the work for them. But here's the thing. With Spider-Man 2 done and dusted, it feels like Wolverine's finally getting the studio's full attention. Are we finally close to a proper reveal? I mean, Spider-Man 2 came out 2 years after its announcement. If we follow that logic, a 2026 release for Wolverine actually makes sense. One thing people keep speculating about, is this Wolverine game set in the same universe as Insomniac's Spider-Man? Quick answer, yeah, it is. The devs confirmed it. But does that mean we'll see Spidey pop up in Wolverine? That's still up in the air. Would be sick though, right? There are some story hints too. Logan's claws are already adamantium, so he's past the whole Weapon X thing. He probably doesn't remember much, which is classic Logan. Could we see some X-Men show up? I'd bet on it. And yeah, that big hack in 2023 might have pushed the timeline back even further, because Insomniac had to scramble after a bunch of stuff leaked. But honestly, if it means they're taking their time and making this game as awesome as possible, I'm here for it. Bottom line, don't lose your mind over the silence. Insomniac is 100% working on Wolverine, and they're probably going all out. And hey, Chad Deason straight up said earlier this year that they're dying to talk about it, but they're holding back until the time's right. Kinda like Logan himself, just chilling in the shadows until it's time to let loose. So, we've all seen the GTA 6 trailer by now, right? I mean, come on, it looks ridiculous. It's not just hype, it's actually wild. But here's the thing nobody can stop talking about. The tech in that trailer is insane. Like, did you catch the sweat running down the dude's back? And not just that, but if you actually look, like really look, you'll see his tricep muscle tensing and relaxing as he moves. Who's ever zoomed in that hard on an elbow before? Apparently, we are now, because that detail is nuts. Here's the kicker, this kind of muscle flexing, Rockstar first did it with the horses in Red Dead Redemption 2. You remember, right? When the horse moved, you could literally see the muscles working. Now, they've leveled it up and slapped it on humans in GTA 6. It's everywhere. Every little movement, every drop of sweat, every twitch. But wait, there's more. All this wizardry isn't just for show. Rockstar's been filing a bunch of patents for this stuff over the years. There's a whole thread on X, formerly Twitter, breaking down some of the wildest ones. For example, realistic fluids. I'm talking sweat, blood, rain. Stuff that actually drips, soaks, splashes, and stains the characters and the world. And the best part? It's high res, but easy on your hardware. So yes, your shirt can get get muddy, and you can actually see it happen in real time. Then there's this next level pathfinding for NPCs and cars. No more zombies walking in circles or getting stuck on a curb. The AI can move through alleys, across beaches, through crowds. Super dynamic, supernatural. Rockstar literally patented a system that makes every NPC's path feel more organic, almost like they've got a mind of their own. But you want multiplayer? This is where it gets nuts. They've got tech that lets the whole world feel seamless. No loading screens, no awkward pauses. Think giant lobbies, way bigger than before, with everyone running around in the same world at the same time. Like, if we had a community server, everyone could actually show up, hang out, and cause chaos together. No awkward loading between city blocks. Imagine 500 players in one massive map, all at once, and it just works. Oh, and the environment, it reacts to you. Walk through sand, leave footprints, shoot out a streetlight. The darkness actually changes how hidden you are. It's not just painted on graphics, the world literally changes because of what you do. Again, they filed a patent for this. You shoot, you step, you spill something, it leaves a mark. Now look, I gotta say, I think it's kinda weird to patent gameplay systems. Like, how do you even police that? Are we really gonna sue someone for making smart AI? But Rockstar did it anyway, and those patents are now locked in. It is what it is. Big picture, this tech is why GTA 6 is taking forever. And honestly, I think it's worth the wait. Rockstar always polishes their games to hell and back. And all this crazy tech is just them trying to raise the bar for everyone else. If you're into the whole organized crime game thing, you probably already know Hangar 13 is taking us all the way back to the source. Sicily, baby. Fresh protagonist, new family, but still that old school Mafia energy. And let's be honest, after what they pulled with Mafia 3, expectations are sky high. Remember that first look at the Sicilian countryside at Gamescom 2024? Unreal Engine 5 flexing hard, making every olive tree and cobblestone street look drop-dead gorgeous. But real talk, can this new Mafia game actually top Mafia 3? That's a tall order. I mean, Lincoln Clay's story? Dude came back from Vietnam and turned New Bordeaux upside down in one of the best revenge stories in gaming. The guy had depth, the writing slapped, and the city felt alive. Sure, it had some issues, repetitive missions, side content that dragged on, but you can't say it wasn't ambitious. So, how's the old country gonna level up? Well, for one, Hangar 13's had 9 years to stew on this. 9 years to figure out what worked, what didn't, and how to give us that Mafia magic without the bloat. Instead of another giant open world packed with copy-paste missions, they're pulling things back, focusing on a tight, story-driven adventure that dives deep into Mafia's Sicilian roots. Honestly, that's what the franchise does best. Killer stories, rich characters, and that feeling like you're right in the middle of a Martin Scorsese movie. The way I see it, Enzo Favara, the new guy, isn't just another power-hungry gangster. His story kicks off with him escaping indentured labor. So yeah, he's got a chip on his shoulder, but he's also got something to prove. He's an outsider, just like Lincoln was. Only instead of gunning for revenge, Enzo might actually owe the family that takes him in. Could be a wild emotional ride if Hangar 13 nails it. Here's what's really interesting. By going back to a more linear, focused format, Hangar 13 can ditch all those repetitive open-world chores and zero in on what makes Mafia so good. Narrative, drama, betrayals, honor, and all the mob family soap opera you can handle. Imagine the emotional weight of those early Mafia days, set in a world that's just starting to build the criminal empire we all know. From the gameplay we've seen, it feels like Hangar 13 isn't trying to reinvent the wheel, just perfect it. Keep what fans love, leave out what everyone complained about. So could Mafia the Old Country actually outshine Mafia 3? Honestly, yeah, it's possible. So yeah, Sony's been deep in PS6 development way before 2024 even hit. This isn't some last-minute scramble. These big decisions already made, and unless something really wild happens, they're not changing course. The core design's locked in. Codename Orion. Yup, that's the name flying around behind closed doors. And the vibe? Raw power, but smart power. Sony's not trying to drop another $700 monster like the PS3. They want this thing strong, quiet, and not melting your entertainment center. Now, Now here's where it gets juicy. Sony and AMD are getting cozy with something called chiplet tech. Think of it like Lego bricks for CPUs and GPUs. Mix, match, optimize. That could keep costs low and performance high. There's even whispers they might use the same GPU chiplets as the next Xbox, which if true, would be a first for PlayStation. Even if not, we know one thing for sure. This thing's going full RDNA5. That's AMD's latest graphics tech. We're talking over 3 GHz clock speeds. It'll have fewer compute units than the PS5 Pro, but each one's going to punch way above its weight. So how's that translate into real-world performance? Triple the base PS5's raster performance. And yeah, ray tracing, that shiny light magic, 6 to 10 times better. The PS5 Pro already pushes 4K 120 in some cases. PS6, that's going to be the baseline. 4K 120 locked in, ray tracing on, and fans barely spinning. On the CPU side, Sony's going for AMD's Zen 6, at least 8 cores, built for serious single-thread power. That means better AI, smoother open worlds, and basically a console that won't break a sweat running massive games. Memory? GDDR7. Super fast stuff. Probably on a 160 or 192-bit bus. Not oversized, just balanced. And yes, full backwards compatibility with PS4 and PS5. Sorry though, still no native PS3. We're all still waiting. Power usage? Just 160 watts. That's less than the PS5, while doing way more. Efficient and cool. Exactly what they want. Now let's talk release. The handheld, codename Canis. And this one's not just a cloud box. We're talking a full-blown next-gen handheld. 3nm Zen 6 chip, touchscreen, USB-C with video out, haptics, SD card support, M.2 SSD slot, the works. It's basically a baby PS6. Performance, about half of what the PS5 does with standard graphics. But with ray tracing, it's actually better than the base PS5 thanks to RDNA5. And get this, it's targeting just 15 watts. That's nothing. That's efficient. This won't be one of those heavy battery-eating PC handhelds. It's built for real portability. It's also built for backwards compatibility. PS4, PS5, even PS6 games, all playable. How? That new low power mode devs are already coding for. Plug this thing into your TV with USB-C, sync your DualSense, and boom, it's a living room console too. The plan is to drop it right around the PlayStation 6's launch, maybe a month later. That's wild. Pricing? Sony's being smart. Main console? Probably $499 to $599 max. The handheld? Somewhere between $399 and $499. And if they do a no-screen mini console version, that could go as low as $299. That's the dream scenario. And from what I'm hearing, it's actually doable. Why so conservative? Because Sony's paying attention. Most players still haven't even jumped to PS5. The economy's rough. People want power that fits their 4K TVs, not price tags that make your wallet cry. PS6 is being built to hit 4K 120 and call it a day. No gimmicks. Worried about compatibility? Don't be. Devs are saying this new setup is easier to work with. Backwards compatibility is a lock, performance is up, and the handheld's gonna ride that same wave with zero fuss. Late 2027. That's when it all drops. The PlayStation 6, the handheld, Sony's next big era. And honestly, if they stick the landing, it's gonna be wild.